Hola, mi amigos. Welcome. Thank you for coming along. Um, I want to just share this morning again with you because it's been really interesting. I was awoken early. Well, though I rested well, um, I was sure that there was thunder last night, and I haven't checked that. But and even the night prior, I was sure I was hearing, well, it was either thunder or great wind and rain, and it had rained, or military planes. And I say that because I've been an avid watcher of the sky for a good couple of years, well, actually for quite a bit longer than that. But I notice different airplane sounds. So yes, I did see two fighter jets in tandem last week. So I wondered if I was hearing those or the bigger, I don't know what kind of plane it is, but it's like a military plane with a really deep bassy sound, and that's what it sounded like. So again, it was that last night. Could have been thunder. We've had an M-class solar flare, probably an increase in electromagnetic or geomagnetic storms. So anyways, and actually, before I even talk about this morning, I think I ought to start with last night. I was reading from the master's books, and I came across something which that I've not read before in one of the books, and because I never had access to book 4, so I'm reading through that, and there was talk about dreams, which was very interesting, and so I had read that, and actually I want to share with you something that I read that I really loved, and I'd love for you to accept this, or I invite you to accept this, something that you can say to yourself. So what it was is that the question that I posed to you, which I posed to myself numerous times, and anytime I woke up, if I went to the loo or whatever, I was saying this in my mind. The question is, what would you do? So say to yourself, what would I do if I was spiritual consciousness? And that's it. What would I do if I was spiritual consciousness? So saying that to myself again and again as I was falling asleep, and then throughout my night. And I had so I'm going to start with dreams. I had, well, there was one dream that I remember. I know I had dreamt before this one as well, and I can't remember that one. But the one I do is so I was in what was called it was London. I knew it was London, UK, that is, and there was all this water, like it was on a coast, or it was next to water, but it was very structured, and the only way that I can describe that is much like Machu Picchu in Peru, where phenomenal topographic views show like the patterning of the area, and how it's very much on purpose, the architecture and the structure, the infrastructure, whatever you want to call it, and very mathematical. And so in line with that, I say, there's sacred geometry there, visible from above. So that's what London looked like for me in the dream. Not like Machu Picchu, but that was what came to mind. And so lots of water, structure, sacred geometry, let's say. And anyways, and then I was there sort of up high. I'm seeing all this water. I know it's London, UK. This is very different. And then I see a topographic view, and I'm not sure if this was because I was I was higher than where I was standing, so I suppose floating, or maybe seeing a map in my mind. I don't know, but I could see London mapped out on the earth, and I could see the proper structure of the whole thing, and it's very different, obviously, and can't describe that, or that's my best description. And then I see a friend of mine from Slovakia, and someone who I'm in touch with, and you know, a traveler, a questioner, curious, very wise, very wise. And so we're not together like beside each other, we're there in proximity, sort of like on parallel tracks. We don't talk to each other. I know she's there, and so we're descending, we're going down this top area, plateau, let's call it. I don't know what it is in the dream, and still I'm just surmising. So she decides to take the steps, and so we separate, but we're not really together. And I decide to walk down a declivity, like just the steep part where there are no steps. But as I'm going, I'm like, ooh, this is tough. And I'm thinking about steps. And as I'm thinking about them, the steps come. And that's a good description of being in the fourth dimension, which is the dream state, and being able to navigate in that dream state. So it's kind of like the film Inception, you know, the architects of the dreams, you know, what they would think of would happen. And that's sort of the thing that, well, I said to myself as I go to sleep that I wanted to remember my dreams and navigate through them, in so many words. And that's what happened for the first time. Actually, not the first time, but the first time that I can remember in a while. Yes. Anyways, so the steps appear, and that's just before that, there was a friend, a dear friend of mine, who again I'm in touch with, and I heard his voice, and he is again, very wise, very much, both of them actually, if we look at numerology, the three of us are all nines. And there's much to that. We won't even get into that. But you know, both of them, actually, what I can say about him, incredibly compassionate, very much a people person, and a very good communicator. So actually, in saying that, there he was. I didn't see him, but I heard his voice, and he is from England, and just south of London, and there he was, like offering a tour sort of thing, and he said that the name of he called London in a different way. And what he said was that it was called something like, what I heard was La Gestia, something along those lines. You know, I can't say more than that. That's all I heard. But I'm sharing this out loud publicly, for anyone that this might resonate with, and we might be able to put pieces together. That's all. Anyways, so that was my dream. And then I was awoken early, and I thought, okay, I might as well. It was just before 4, no problem. And I got up and I meditated, and then I was called to go, I was called to forego the rest of my usual schedule and use the sauna, which I had wanted to last week as well, but it didn't pan out because I forgot to press the start button. And then when I went down to go use it, after having set it up and it needing half an hour to warm up, I went down to go use it, and it was off, and I didn't know. I didn't realize that's what I had to do. It was my first time setting it up, and yes, yes, there is a sauna in the house. Blessed are we who live here that somebody has, I don't know how long it's been here, somebody has left in the basement as storage while they do whatever they do, and it shall be picked up at some point. But in the meantime, we get to use it. So yeah, very blessed. I recognize that. So so I went down after I meditated and set it up, and then just came back up to read, and before going back down, and then I did, and I sat in there and had all kinds of things that were coming, so it's an infrared sauna, which I've just looked up, and it's apparently more effective for the organism because the heat penetrates further in than a typical like a Finnish sauna, where first the air is heated, and then through convection the air heats the body. But with infrared, it's the light frequency that immediately penetrates the body and goes in far deeper. So I didn't know that till after I just looked that up, and I found that really interesting. I'm in the right place at the right time, basically. And I didn't go in there for reasons I have before. When I was in Slovakia, it was much more common to use a sauna, and which I did on a regular basis because I had access to one. It's just more, it's normal. And it's for detoxing and weight loss, all that kind of stuff. But this at present, I didn't go in really for any of the detox. Yes, weight loss, don't care. Detox, yes, I figured, well, why not, right? So I went in there, and I'm thinking about the questions I had were I'm in this space. Well, I'll just spell it out. There is heat and there is no light. So the question I had, because I thought a few days ago, can light exist without heat? And then the question I had this morning as I was sitting there was, can heat exist without light? Because I don't see light, but then having looked into infrared, it's a frequency, it's all frequency, and it is heat. It is not visible heat nor light. It's just a different spectrum. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. You can look into it yourselves, but I had a better understanding. And then when I did look into it further, it's more of that falls under the umbrella of thermodynamics, which I want to investigate further. So that's that. But it was all very interesting. And then it's all really interesting. And then I'm sitting there for a bit, and I'm paying attention to how long it's taking me to break a sweat. For example, what's going on with my heart. So I check my heart rate, and of course my heart is working harder as I'm in there, as I'm taking in this excess heat, which is normal for my body. And yes, I'm paying attention to the temperature, and I think it was I started at 48 degrees Celsius, and it wasn't until 10 degrees later did I start to break a sweat, which I have nothing to compare to. or no one as yet. And then and it took maybe 35 minutes for me to break a sweat, going from 48 to 58 degrees. Interesting. And I also realized that I started to sweat on the right side of my face before the left. Like it was definitely the right, which I thought to be quite interesting, because there are things with the right side of my body where I know that I need alignment. And that's all I'll say to that. It's and so and also the left is connected to the right. The right is the right side of the body is connected to the left hemisphere of the brain, and that is the if I'm not mistaken, the feminine aspect. I might be mistaken, actually. I think it's the masculine. I'll have to double check that. But anyways, so it's connected to the left hemisphere of the brain, which all very interesting. So I'm having all these thoughts, right? And then I decide I ended it, and I didn't prepare for this, but I had contemplated, well, why do I not just go outside into the snow? And I talked myself out of it because I was like, you're not prepared. I don't, and blah, 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 whatever. And it was I'll share a story in a second. But so there I ended it, and going up the stairs, and there's a side entrance to the house, and I open the door and I feel outside, and it's obviously cold. But I think to myself, well, actually, it was quite without thought. I just took my slippers off and I just went. And I was absolutely fine. Have done that once before, kind of in Mont Tremblant, up in Montreal. Been in the steam room or something, and then ran out in the snow into the hot water pool. And then obviously in Slovakia it was very common. But that was generally going from a sauna. Actually, no, we were in the cold, in the wintertime, in hot water pools that were outside. So yeah, no sauna there. Anyways, so have done it before, not for a while, a couple of years at least, 3 maybe. But the snow part, actually, that's since Tremblant, which is long before I was married, or no, around 2000. Stepped out onto the driveway and there's fresh snow on there. And I'm thinking, oh, that's not bad. Okay. And I'm in my robe. And then I'm like, well, let's just go to the backyard and do what we thought of. And what I had thought of was, I'm just going to go to the backyard. And I'm actually going to go take off my robe and sit in the snow in my birthday suit. So I get out there. I'm fine, absolutely fine. I step into the snow, and it's quite hard because we had the freezing rain a couple of days ago. And initially, actually, no, do you know what? I stepped into it with my feet, and I'm like, oh, I'm fine, absolutely fine. And I took a whole bunch of soft, powdery snow, and I just covered my face with it. Absolutely fine. That's when I decided, all right, let's go for it. And I'm like, well, where am I going to put my robe? And we've got this like a structure in the backyard. It reminds me of, I don't know what to call it. I can't remember the name. Saw it in Japan. It's like this structure like that in Meiji. I can't remember where it was. Anyways, and there's a bell attached to it with like a gong. So I thought to myself, well, I'll go put my robe on top of that, because there's, if I go backwards and put it on the edge of the railing of the deck, then I'm gonna, yeah, harder to access again, and it's gonna get snow on it. So that was the idea. So that's what I was gonna do. Then as I'm walking through the very crunchy snow, it's quite sharp and hard and whatever, and it was getting very uncomfortable. And then the thought, I'm not prepared, came in, and so I didn't get my robe off, but I was happy that I got out into the snow with my bare feet, had it on my face, on my hands, whatever. I went back inside. Now, so I wasn't prepared today, and I know the next time what I would do is take my flip-flops out and just go. But a funny side story to that is it was on the day of my birth last year that my sister, who I was living with at the time, was like, you know what? I think it would be a really good idea to go to the beach for your birthday. Now, I don't care about birthdays, my own, anybody's, whatever, because it's every day. That's my idea, is that we let us celebrate life every single day rather than one day. But she's the birthday queen, and actually I've been thinking to myself, the week prior, that I would really love to get out to a body of water. So when she suggested it, I was like, yes, you read my mind. So we're there walking along the beach, and it was the same sort of contemplation that I had about going into the water. However, I was not prepared. We didn't bring anything with us. It was just kind of this, we woke up in the morning, I had done my morning walk and meditation and everything. And then, by, I think 8 o'clock, we left. We didn't even take water bottles with us, nor towels, no bathing suits, whatever, nothing. And it was cool in the morning. Well, it was cool when we left. It was not cool later on. Anyways, and the idea was just to walk along the beach. So there we were walking along, and we're on the private part of the beach, which I hadn't noticed. So I was just like, oh, there's nobody here. I mean, there weren't very many people anyways, because it was quite early. I'm thinking to myself, it's the day of my birth. Why not? Why not go run into the water? No, because I'm not ready to. Just like I wasn't ready to step into the snow this morning. Then I thought to myself, you can do it. So I contemplated this for about 10 minutes, I think, before turning around to my sister saying, after I'd scoped out the area and no one was around, and I was like, I'm going to go into the water. And I'm going in, obviously, I didn't really prepare. It's just like, I'm going to go into the water. And there I was taking off all my clothes. And I went running in like a child. I was so excited. And it didn't occur to me, it didn't even dawn on me until after I got in the water that I was like, I'm in the water on the day of my birth in my birthday suit. How fantastic. It didn't occur to me. So when I came out, all very excited and everything, I said that. I was like, Nick, I went in on, it's my birthday, and I went in with my birthday suit, or in my birthday suit, and very excited. She wasn't so very thrilled. And I get that. It was, which is there's something I really wanted to do, and I did it. So funny side story, and yeah, this morning I wasn't prepared. It's much easier to rip your clothes off in the heat than perhaps -20, and yeah, sit in the snow unprepared. Anyways, that was a side story. And do you know what? All that to say, it was exhilarating. Again, felt like that child. And I was so pumped. I felt so wonderful. And then I came in and did I do my no, I came in and went straight up to the shower and ice cold, started it, got underneath, and that was further acceleration. It was phenomenal. And I got out and I like, it was glowing. I was glowing. Like my skin was just, it's so soft and wonderful. And it's funny also, I wish to say that like, over the last few days, I've been breaking out like a teenager. I've got like pimples and I laugh at that and I welcome it. It's absolutely not a problem for me. It's not a sign of discord. Actually it is. It's a sign. Well, it's what I love to say. It's better out than in, right? Like get out, off you go. I don't need you apparently in my body anymore. Ready to let go. And also on that line, it's the same with getting sick. And as I was thinking about that this morning, and I always say, yeah, I welcome getting sick. I have no problem with that, it's the same thing, better out than in. If there's something in my body that's no longer supposed to be there, up and out you go. And then I thought to myself, like, the last time I was sick actually was in 2020, exactly 2 years ago, just before all of this stuff in the world had begun. And it was my last teaching stint while I was in Austria. And so it was 4 schools in 4 different cities across the country. And I was really ill. It was, I think, the second last week. That was the second last week that I got really ill. And I do believe that it was with the COVID before we knew it was that. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I was hallucinating. And when I get ill, so I had to cancel part of my teaching going into the school. When I get ill, I switch everything off completely. I don't even drink water, and I just lay. I just lay down and allow my body to do what it needs to heal, essentially. It was amazing. I was hallucinating. I can't remember. I wrote it down. Then I tossed everything when I left Slovakia. So I don't even have my notes. But I was hallucinating, seeing things. It was incredible. So anyways, better out than in. And the experience is phenomenal. I felt like the description of people in like the jungles that are being treated by a medicine man or woman, and it was like that. It was amazing. It was amazing. And of course I was in meditation and whatever. Like it just wasn't a problem, none of it. And so anyways, yeah, all that to say, I welcome being ill, no problem. I trust myself. I trust my body. I trust the healing power of this incredible temple. So phenomenal. So yes, then I took the cold shower, felt ever more amazing, made myself some tea, sat on my bed, was reading from the masters again, just to look up what I read last night about the dreams. And here I am, sharing with you. And so much stuff is coming through. It's amazing. I love you. I love you. And I wish you so well. I thank you for tuning into this video. Was there something else? I feel like there was. Let me just see what I wrote down. Oh yeah, do you know what? God, this came to me. Would you, no matter how you feel about her, now whether she is here or not, if she's passed over already, love the heck out of your mother. Let it be enough that that lady carried you for 9 months. Let that be enough, you know, especially if your relationship is not harmonious. She did her job. She brought you here, you know. She brought us here. They did. And it's, we don't give them enough credit. So going back to, I don't care about birthdays because I like to celebrate life every day. Let's just celebrate Mama today, every day. While we're there, Dad, while we're there, everyone and everything. No, here we are. We came through that woman's, I like, holy smokes, this is profound, right? I came through my little mom's body. I mean little. She's a wee thing. She bore 5 of us. It's phenomenal. Life is phenomenal. Anyways, that's it. Go love on your mom. And then your father. And all that is. Yeah, again, I love you. God bless you. And I wish you an absolutely wondrous day. Bye.